Good afternoon. Today I'd like to talk about a form of new media that can help offset the negative effects of texting in younger students, primarily the students in the middle school age group. This form of new media is obviously internet-based, and it's at a website called IXL.com, which is a tutorial website. I first started researching tutorial websites when a couple of months ago I got a progress report card from my daughter's school indicating that she dropped in pretty much every subject, and that was a huge wake-up call for me. With my work schedule, I work a lot of night shifts and I am not able to get my daughter to tutoring, so I had to research other options. I discovered IXL.com and I thought I had a good chance of working because it was almost game-based. It made learning fun for the kids. It was intuitive and it adapted to the input that they put in. It adapted to their issues and their problems. So let's go ahead and go to IXL.com and I'll show you how it works. I've already logged in, and one caveat here is that it's not free. You do have to pay for it. I pay for a monthly membership. It's like $15.98 a month, and I get both math and language arts K through 12. IXL is a fairly easy website program to get started on. All you have to do is when you first log on to the website, you're not going to see this screen right away. You won't see anything like that. It'll give you the option to register. You go ahead and register. They do have a trial version, but if you want to get the full usage of it, you want to go ahead and pay for it. And in my opinion, based on what I've seen, it is worthwhile. In the few weeks that my daughter's been using it, her grade in math went from a D to a mid-C, which is very, very important to me. I think IXL works because it's based on the technology that is just surrounding kids today, whether it be the iPod or the Kindle. And yes, I'm guilty. My daughter has both devices, whether it be the computer, whether it be the phone. This website has elements of those toys or tools, whatever you want to call them, that our kids are playing with right now. I do want to go ahead and make a side note here, and it's also notated in the blog, that my daughter does not have a cell phone. However, I did notice a decline in pretty much all of her grades, especially math and English, when she got her Kindle for Christmas. So is there a relationship? I like to think, yes, there is a relationship. So let's go ahead and play around on the site a little bit. Let's start with math, and let's go ahead to the grade that my daughter's working at right now, and it's 5th grade math. I've wanted her to review. She's in 6th grade right now, but I had her go back to 5th grade math just to do a little review. So in 5th grade math, there's all sorts of skills that they can review, and the one that was tripping my daughter up the most was fractions. And if we hover over each problem, we get to see some example problems. And I really like the fractions review. Here's why. Look at how visual that is. Isn't that a whole lot more fun and appealing to an 11-year-old versus what fraction of the paper clips are green and actually having it written down in numbers? This is way more fun. This is way more engaging, kind of like text messaging is engaging. So let's click on it. And we have pictures. Pictures really get the kids engaged. Let's go back and check out some other ones. Now granted, some of these are your typical formats that you're going to see in the math book. We can't make it all fun, but there's enough in here to get the kids engaged. So let's go ahead and check some of the other tools that this website has for you. Up here in the toolbar, we have a section for reports, and this is more for the parents and the kids, but the kids still might want to see how they're doing. So go ahead and increase this so you can see a little bit better. And there's all sorts of tabs to give you tools to help your child improve. I've already got one that's opened up here. This is the status update, and it shows you where my daughter's at. She's attempted 103 problems. She's practiced 2 separate skills, and she spent 13 minutes. And actually, that's pretty impressive for me. 103 problems in 13 minutes. They have other little things you can click, news flashes, report cards. So let's click her report card and see what we have. And there's not a whole lot on it because she's only done 103 problems. However, this small sliver says she's mastered 2 skills, which is great. That makes me happy. And her report card, her real report card at school, is also reflecting that. The sidebar also shows you some other things that you might want to assess as far as reports goes. There's usage, shows you what problems have been received, what skills she's practiced, the usage log. Let's go ahead and click on the usage log. And they're telling me, oh, here we go. And here's a nice chart, very visual, great for adults that like to text a lot too, but it gives you a very visual representation of what's going on here. 13 minutes, the day she's done it, time spent. Let's click on problems attempted, and here we go. And we kind of slacked off for some of this month. However, we do need to pick up on it. And a couple of the other things in the sidebar are the performance tabs. So let's check performance by skill. And here are the hard numbers that we as parents really need. We've got 13 minutes. She did 103 problems, as we've discussed. She got 87 correct, and she missed 16. So if we go ahead and round that down, she got about 88, 89, which personally I'd like to see a little bit better, but it's a great improvement over the overall 68% that she had in math on her progress report card. So enough about us as parents. Let's go ahead and see another draw for the kids, and that's going to be right here, the awards section. So let's go ahead, click on awards, and look at this. How fun is this for kids? How visual is this? In today's age, with the cell phones, with the instant messaging on the cell phones, and everything is so visual, and we have instant gratification. This is the kind of thing that we need right here to help offset the damage that is being done by text messaging with regards to our writing, with regards to our grammar. Now granted, yes, we're looking at math right here. However, there's a section here for language arts. This can also be applied to language arts. The reason I'm not showing you that is because she has not done that yet. We've mainly focused on our math. But look at how fun this is for the kids. This gives the kids goals. This makes it just a little bit more engaging. She's got all these different squares that represent different challenges. This one here, and she gets this sailboat for practicing for 5 minutes. Right here is she mastered 1 skill, so she has an eagle, and she answered 100 questions. So we've got to start, we have a goal to work for. How much more fun is this than going through our textbook? Granted, yes, we still have to go through our textbook, but can you picture something like this on the screen of an iPod, perhaps on the screen of a cell phone? Yes, and IXL does have a mobile website. So real quick, before we wrap things up, let's go to the Language Arts tab. Click on the tab here, and you can see some different skills we have for language arts. So let's do 5th grade skills right here because I kind of like to move her back a little bit. And these are all important skills, and this directly affects the problems we get from texting. Look at this, sentences, fragments, run-ons. Do we see those in text messages? Yes, that is a big yes, all caps right there. Do we see some problems with verbs? And look at all the fun stuff we can do with verbs here. Do we see problems with capitalization in text? Right there. Do we see problems with punctuation, especially when we're quoting somebody? Yes. Prepositions, contractions, that's a big one. I see a lot of that in text, and I'm guilty of doing that myself. So this is very, very important, and this can directly, right here, offset some of the problems that we are seeing from the text message, I'll call it revolution, with our kids. So I think the best way to summarize IXL is interactivity. Interactivity right here is what's helping us solve the solution to the problem with the text messaging. the problem with the grammar, the problem with the spelling, the problem with the abbreviations. It's the interactivity, and especially the interactivity that's discussed in our text and explored in our text, that's helping us solve this problem through this website. So I hope you enjoy the little screencast and tune in for some more.